row by row, going to make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warn them from below till the rain comes a-tumbling down. Pulling weeds and picking stones, man is made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, for the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music from the land. Singing inch by inch, row by row, going to make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warn them from below till the rain comes a-tumbling down. Plant your rows straight and long, temper them with prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. That old crow watching hungry from his perch in yonder tree. In my garden I must freeze that feathered leaf up there. Sing inch by inch, row by row, going to make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warn them from below till the rain comes a-tumbling down. Inch by inch, row by row, going to make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warn them from below till the rain comes a-tumbling down. Till the rain comes a-tumbling down.
Balcha, August 𝐷𝐸. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Kathleen O'Neill, along with my good friend Bruce Smith, inviting you to 2 hours of Irish music, news, and announcements on Detroit Irish Radio at 𝐶RBradio.com. The call-in number is 313-942-0159. For those of you that have requests or news to share, we are looking forward to hearing from you. You can also email us during the week at DetroitIrishRadio@gmail.com, or use that number again and call us during the week, or leave a text message at, once again, 313-942-0159. Yes, this show has moved to K Radio Broadcasting, and you can listen to us every week on Sundays from 1 to 3. We join a team of what we call the Green Wave, starting off on Friday nights through Monday. You can listen to at least one Irish program. Actually, there's 5 shows altogether that broadcast at CRBradio.com. On Friday nights, we have the Friday Night Falcha with Bobby Brooks from 4 to 7. Saturday, Emerald Isle Express from 1 to 4 with Matt O'Donnell. Earlier this morning on Sunday, the Rebel Rooster with John Costello airs from 10 to noon. Here we are from 1 to 3 in Detroit Irish Radio, Kathleen O'Neill and Bruce Smith. And then tomorrow we have our good friend, the Irish Music Cafe, being hosted by Patrick Johnson from 4 to 6 p.m. And we want to thank Patrick Johnson because he's the one that got us all moving to K Radio, broadcasting and enjoying.
Thanks, Pat.
Yes, thanks,
No.
Pat. Yeah, and for the other fellas that are making it a fun weekend of Irish music and news. having Detroit Irish Radio be a part of it is just amazing.
And I've been telling Kathleen how much fun. I complain a lot, but this is so much fun.
Oh, Bruce, you don't complain. I don't think anyone knows Bruce to complain. but it is fun, and we're going to have extra fun today because we are broadcasting. Our base is at the Gaelic League Irish American Club. We were by the fireside, and we are having, here comes a few of the ladies coming in for what's going to be an eventful day. It's I will let other people share all the news about it, but today is a special day down here at the Gaelic League where we're raising funds for our club. But in doing so, we have a variety of ways how you can be a part of it and enjoy. Starting off with coming and seeing us, right, Bruce? We are going to be broadcasting from 1 to 3, and also happening during this time from 1 to 3:30 is some silent auction, and I'm hopefully going to have one of the volunteers come over and share with us what's at that table. But I just did a quick run by, and it looks amazing. There's also, in a number of baskets. I don't know how many. It was more than a handful. So we're looking forward to going over and adding to that fun. From 2 to 3:30, there's going to be dinner available for purchase, and we just saw the menu. One is chicken and
just ranch chicken sliders. There's 2 of them with tater tots, coleslaw, and a pickle for $8.
Excellent, thank you. You can read the next one too, because your eyesight's better than mine.
There's also pork loin with mac and cheese and baked beans, and that's $10.
Excellent, and I don't know what's served from 2 to 3:30.
2 to 3:30 in green, which is very difficult to read from here. Yeah,
yeah. You did very well, thank you, Bruce. He's not only assisting on the board, but he's being my eyesight at the moment. But we are excited to have that as an option if you just want to come down and have a dinner. That proceeds will be going towards the building fund, and then at 4 o'clock. What we've been talking about for weeks, we're going to have a special one-woman's play. It's called Mrs. Kelly's Journey Home. And Brita Kelly Miller is here in the building right now. They're doing their own sound checks in the hall. The tickets for the play are $20. You can purchase them at the door if you don't have them already, or come down early. You can even get them at the bar earlier. But Brita Kelly is no stranger to the Gaelic League either, and that's the exciting thing when we can see some of our former members or young people that grew up around the Gaelic League. We all become one big family, and her parents were immigrants, which we'll hear through this story, and she may be stopping by in a little bit when they're all set up. But she took dance lessons here. And she was the maid of Erin in 1976 for United Irish Societies. And that is really a big to-do, being the maid of Erin, because you represent all of the organizations. And, right now there's 32 of us, or 37 groups in the annual St. Patrick's Parade. So Brita Miller is coming home and sharing her own story, a play that she has written. So if you get the opportunity and you're looking for something to do today because it's a little dreary, let's do something indoors and enjoy all the activities. With that, enough talk, because we're going to have lots of talk hopefully in a bit. We did start with my good friend. He kind of is like, oh dear, you're not playing that song again. We play it often, but I just love Terry Murphy, and I love when he sings the garden song.
And it's so well associated with him.
Oh yeah, and it's just lighthearted and just a little reminder of how much beauty we get from the people around us, but also from nature. And that's what we're doing today. We're going to be playing songs that have something to do with flowers. So let's get started with the whole shebang. and the song The Shamrock and the Rose. You're going to find a lot of songs about shamrocks and a lot of songs about roses. And I tried to avoid the rose songs that were actually about females. We're talking about plants today because last week down at Easter Market was the, what do you call it, Easter Market Plant Day? Not Plant Day, what do they call it, Bruce? Help me out. But it's an annual event, and it's a big to do, and it was last Sunday. And so people were busy with plants last weekend, and hopefully they're enjoying the beauty that they've purchased and planted in their own yards. And then we're going to follow it up with Matt Cunningham with the Honeysuckle and Kelly's Fancy, because of course Brita Kelly is telling the Kelly's story today here at the Gaelic League.
There was a song that talked of reason to the guns and jigs and reels, but a cruel north wind devoured it in our island's killing field. And the sooths and saints repeated that the fool reaps what he sows. Well, the wind that shakes the barley shakes the shamrock and the rose. And it's low down in the valley, just how low, Lord, no one knows. Where the wind that shakes the barley shakes the shamrock and the rose. Talk is cheap where there are many unmarked graves to mark the way, and it's the living pays the piper for the tunes of yesterday. There's a silence in our island that's not golden in repose. When the wind that shakes the barley shakes the shamrock and the rose, and it's slow down in the valley, just how there is hope where there is reason. Shamrock rose or barley corn. Baby, if we sing together, that lost song will be reborn. Just one voice could make the difference and bring peace to friends and where the wind that shakes the barley shakes the shamrock and the rose, and it's slow down in the valley, just how low, Lord, no one knows. Where the wind that shakes the barley shakes the shamrock and the rose, and it's slow down in talks of reason, shakes the shamrock and the rose.
I said this was going to be a fun, busy show, and it absolutely is. We're thrilled to have our friend, roving reporter all over the world, GAA results, and that's our good friend, Pork Egan. Pork, how are you doing today?
Very good, Kathleen. Thanks for taking the call, of course. And I thought I'd better call in early. Sounds like you got a lot of activity down there today, so I thought I'd better get in before all the other things start.
Well, we appreciate it because there are people that tune in specifically to hear these GAA results, and I'm sure you have a few results. Father Brendan was trying.
Not so much results, Kathleen, as local as news, and I'll start locally with the Detroit Wolf Tones. That's our men's team, and who actually this year are celebrating the 40th anniversary since their founding, and they've been practicing for the past month or so down in Dearborn, and yesterday they played in the Cleveland, Ohio 7-a-side tournament. So 12 of our finest men went down there and acquitted themselves very well. They didn't win the tournament, but they played 3 games. They won 1 game. They were very competitive in the other games, and they were playing those teams there from Chicago and Pittsburgh and Cleveland, of course. So it was a great experience for them. So that's so anyone interested in the Wolf Tones, go to the Wolf Tones Facebook page or website, and any young athletes who would like to learn this game are very welcome. You know, it's a game of agility, fitness, skill, determination, and it's also a game of tradition. You don't have to be Irish to play, of course. And it's also a social experience. And many a man has met his future wife at such games. But of course, that's something we're not going to guarantee.
I was going to say, and they continue to encourage them, and yet we do have the young ladies that are hoping to have a team going. Have you heard any word on them?
Well, Kathleen, no, but there you go. I mean, as you know, it's all for someone out there who might be listening in. Yeah, please call it. I haven't. No, I haven't got. I did hear that they were getting together, but I haven't any information on them. So St. Anne's hopefully are also doing something. We'll go on though to the Detroit Youth Gaelic football. That's the Detroit Harps, and they are now accepting registration for 2020. Again, go to Detroit Harps Facebook page, and that's open to boys and girls 5 to 17. They'll be starting practice in Flodden Park in Canton on June 5th.
Oh, that's coming up.
Yeah, and then the big tournament is in Chicago. We talked about that before. Big tournament is in Chicago on July 25th to the 31st. As I said, it's like probably the largest get-together of youth Gaelic sports in the world. Literally teams coming from all over the United States, including New York. And whether the kids play in that, to play is great, but just to go down there and experience that and just see how many young people are involved is as they say, do your heart good. And so practice takes part in Flodden Park in Canton, and it's, just so anyone know, any grandparents or parents out there, this is a very friendly, easygoing, family-friendly atmosphere. There's a fountain there, there's play structures. So some of the kids play, and some of them, are very competitive and they want to get in and they want to play hard, and other kids just like to, play around a bit, but nonetheless they get exposed to the game and get exposed to the culture. And so I'd highly recommend any parents or grandparents that are interested to bring the kids out on a Sunday afternoon starting on June 5th. And as I said, go to the Detroit Harps Facebook page.
And once again, what time does that start? Is it around 5 o'clock?
Typically, it's starting around 4, Kathleen.
Oh, 4. Okay. That's even better.
You have 4. It might be 4 or 5, but yeah, it's always in the afternoon around that time. But we can again, and I'm going to give you my direct phone number if anyone has any question. I'm not directly involved, but if anybody has any question about the Wolf Tones or the Harps, give me a call and I can send them, give them a phone number. My direct number is 313-318-0885.
Very, very good.
You got the Facebook page stuff as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, and both of those groups, the Detroit Wolf Tones, which is the older ones, adults or late teens, and the Detroit Harps are part of the Gaelic League Cultural Consortium, and they do, like you say, have website and Facebook pages, and certainly many of us in the community that can also share that information with them. So we appreciate it.
Did you say late teens, Kathleen?
Pardon me?
Did you say late teens? Or late, because I don't know if you said late teens, you mean like late teenagers, but
yes.
There's guys saying, oh no, there's guys, this game you can play up to as long as you want. There's fellas in their mid-40s.
No, I'm saying that they start, the Harps are like from 5 to 17, and then anyone older than that.
Oh yes.
I didn't want to call them adults because some of them might only be 18 or so, but but anyone's welcome. Yeah. So if you're out there at 50, we'll cheer you on there too.
No, let me tell you, there's quite a number of people who I think they'll still be playing at 50 the way they're going, and more power to them. Well, in Ireland, Kathleen, the GAA inter-county hurling and football games are being played each Saturday and Sunday, which will lead to the All-Ireland hurling final this year. It will be on the 17th of July, and the football final will be on the 24th of July. So a big break from tradition. It was over the years. It was in September. This year it's going to be in July. And as we spoke about a few weeks ago, also there's a new competition being introduced this year called the Tailteann Cup, and this year is the inaugural edition of, we'd call it a second-tier Gaelic football competition for senior county teams. The Sam Maguire, of course, being the top-tier cup, and the reason for them, it's a very, very good, it's a really great idea because. Since, give you an example, since 1980, out of the 32 counties in Ireland, only 11 have won All-Ireland finals. So you've got 32 counties in 40 years, only 11 have won. And actually Kerry and Dublin have won 22 of those All-Irelands. So there's, teams that probably, even though they get the chance to go into the All-Ireland competition, the chances of them winning it are pretty slim. So now they have introduced a second-tier cup, and that the other teams have a real serious opportunity, chance to win. And this will start next weekend at the Tailteann Cup. I'm just going to give you the lineup, and it gives us a chance to kind of listen to the county teams that normally you wouldn't hear about when we talk about the All-Ireland. So you're going to have Longford are going to play Fermanagh, Leitrim will play Antrim, Sligo will play London, Cavan will play Down, Offaly will play Wicklow. And then the following week, New York will actually also be introduced into the competition. So we've got two things going on this year in Gaelic football. We've got the Sam Maguire and the Tailteann Cup. So that should make it more interesting for a lot more teams.
It sounds wonderful, and it sounds like you got your work cut out for you for keeping up with all these different tournaments.
Oh, that's and then of course we got hurling and we got under 20 competitions. But anyhow, yeah, lots of activity over there. It's great to see such interest in Gaelic sports. Kathleen, I'll end up your theme today. It's about flowers, and I've actually chosen a couple of tunes. It's not really about flowers, it's about rushes. And hopefully there's no farmers in the west of Ireland listening, because rushes are something that actually, I'm going to read this. It says, the presence of rushes growing in grasslands is a common sign of poor draining, damp, acidic soils, broken down or blocked drainage systems. So the rush is actually in the flower family, I think, scientifically, but we always considered it a weed. And in fact, the farmers, sometimes it's a lifelong battle trying to stop these rushes from growing. But it's actually the St. Bridget's cross is made out of rushes.
Oh, there you go. Yes, yeah.
So it's got something good. But anyhow, the rush is something you see all over Ireland, especially in not so good land. And Kevin Burke is the musician, and the tunes are called "The Bunch of Green Rushes" and "The Maids of Mitchellstown." So that's my contribution to your flower theme today, rushes.
Well, thank you. We're going to enjoy your selection because it's a great, lively tune. And is this a Sligo musician?
Actually, yes. He was born in London to Sligo parents, and he lives in Portland, Oregon. But anybody who ever has seen Kevin Burke is probably one of the great fiddle players, in the generation. But anybody who has ever seen him in concert, he's got this kind of a London / Irish accent, very, very distinctive. But his music is also very distinctive, and as you'll hear. So, all right, Kathleen, thanks so much for taking the call.
Thank you for calling, and Park, we always enjoy you and all your news. So take care, enjoy the week. God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we will go off to hear Kevin Burke with his great fiddling, and thanks to 𝐾𝐞𝐭 for providing this selection. right. We are here at the Gaelic League Irish American Club, located at 2068 Michigan Avenue in Corktown, Detroit. And we have a very, very busy, fun afternoon planned. And right now I have the star of the evening, or the afternoon, from 4 to 6. You'll have the pleasure of seeing a performance by Breda Kelly Miller. Breda, welcome to the show. You've called in, but it's nice to see you face to face.
Oh, there's nothing like in person.
Isn't that the truth? But our listeners are fortunate to hear from all these talented people, and I was sharing with them how this is part of your growing up. Your childhood was here at the Gaelic League, and now you're coming back and sharing a fabulous play. I was fortunate enough to see it in the fall, your premiere opening out in Ann Arbor. But it's nice to come home and be on the stage that you probably saw Santa on.
Oh, I saw Santa on the
Danced
Christmas parties, the step dancing, the Maid of Erin. My father, he worked for the Detroit Typographical Union, and they rented office space upstairs. So how clever is that of him? You could, no commute to get to the bar after work.
Yeah, very convenient. Maybe even lunchtime.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Yeah, but how nice. So let our listeners know they still have time to travel down here to see you at 4 o'clock. What they're in store for if they are able to come on out.
I would absolutely love it. And, I have to tell you, we did order the weather. And that vendor's not typically, dependable in Michigan. But we asked for it not a terribly sunny, warm day, so people would rather be inside. So if on this drizzly, gray Sunday afternoon, this is the time to come down to the Gaelic League in Detroit. It's just going to be a great afternoon. The show, it's the best thing I've ever done. It is a memoir. It is a story. It is about love and family and generations, and really how my parents emigrated from Ireland, acclimated to becoming Americans, my mom's journey, which is, it's really funny. And it's not that I'm such a great writer. It's that they were so funny and I remembered everything. So.
Now, you grew up in a household. How many other siblings?
4 brothers, only girl.
Okay.
Default caregiver there, right there. My parents had no family, no relatives here. And so when they found the Gaelic League, it was like a homecoming. Mm-hmm. They made so many friends just by coming down here and remained friends all of their lives. Stayed in Michigan their whole life.
Well, I was going to say, and that's the story of many of our Detroit immigrants. They became family here.
Absolutely.
Everyone ended up being an aunt and uncle, or certainly were godparents, or confirmation sponsors.
Oh, this space, it's
a nice jewel in the city of Detroit.
It is, and it's just the waves of nostalgia, from the lessons that I took from 𝐃𝐞𝐭𝐫𝐤 in the Irish language as well, out in the front lobby area. That was the space for the classes, and getting ready for the St. Patrick's Day parade here, and just so many really milestones in my life. And now to come back here and perform this show, which is really an homage to the Gaelic League because it's mentioned in the play 3 or 4 times.
Right. And those of us that are sitting there can relate to what you're saying. So,
yes.
We invite everyone to come on out. It's from 4 to 6, and that includes an intermission. Mm-hmm. And they are going to be serving food up till 3:30. You're not going to have anyone walking through selling or going to get meals at that time.
You don't have to worry about it. And you know what's nice too is the hall. We're performing it in the hall on the stage, and it's so spacious and airy, so people are not going to feel really crowded together if they're not comfortable about coming into a space with other folks. So it'll be spacious and open and just a lot of fun.
Yes, and masks are not required, but there's a number of people wearing masks, including all in the kitchen. They have voluntarily say, we're going to keep masks on. We want everyone to be
I
feel
will not
secure.
be wearing one
No,
because it's really kind of hard to perform in a show with a mask. But if everyone else wants to wear them, that's just
What I
fine.
was going to say is it's really hard to play the part of your father, who was a constant smoker from the looks of
Yes.
it, with a mask on.
Indeed. And I have to give you a warning that my portrayal of my father is as unfiltered as his Pall Malls.
Oh, how funny. So, well, we're happy that you could stop by and say a few words, and we look forward to seeing you on the stage in a couple hours.
Thank you so much.
We'll be
I-
done with this program and enjoying the rest of the afternoon together.
I am delighted and honored to be here.
Well, thank you for bringing it to us, and certainly thanks to your parents for creating the story that you're about to tell. So, take care. Thanks, Rita. With that, talking about people and lives and our people in our lives, I want to take a moment real quick now. Normally I save it until the second half of the show to talk about people that have died, but I do have a notice that I want people to be aware of, especially ones that are very familiar around here. We lost a fairly young member, 51-year-old Pamela Murphy, died suddenly or in her sleep this past Monday morning, May 16th. And there was a wake yesterday out at A.H. Peters Funeral Home in Grosse Pointe. But this afternoon, and then a little bit of a gathering back here last night. But today, there is also a celebration of Pamela's life at the Old Miami, which is located at 3930 Cass Avenue in Detroit. It started at 1 o'clock with a service of remembrance beginning promptly at 2 o'clock. And saddened that I didn't mention that earlier because so many people knew and loved Pam. She was a very kind and thoughtful person, and I could go on for hours about what her thoughtfulness, bringing a gift one Sunday. Her and Eric Cole, she's a friend of Eric's, came every Sunday since we've been broadcasting here, right, Bruce? And it was a joy to see them walk in and wave, and Pam give her smile and thumbs up, and everything's going good. So I just want to keep that in mind, that Pam Murphy, who was an artist, loved animals, and cared about people, who, especially those who were hurting, has died. And she leaves behind her 2 children, James and Jessica, young people that are just seem just as nice as their mom, talking to them yesterday. But I'll go into more details, but for those of you that wanted to get to that celebration, once again, the service itself is starting promptly at 2 o'clock. You could go there and then come here, but remembering Pam Murphy and all of her family and friends, especially her friend Eric Cole. With that, let's go back into some more music while we have the chance. This time, we're going to have a song by an Irish Christian singer, and that's James Kilbane. With this being the month of May, we remember our Blessed Mother as well, and so we're going to hear the song Queen of the May, Bring Flowers of the Fairest, and then followed up with Fred Finn and Peter Horn, another selection of Sligo musicians, with the Queen of the May, and this is a reel. So listen to those 2 tunes now.
Bring flowers of the rarest, bring blossoms the fairest, from garden and woodland and hillside and dale. Our full hearts are swelling, our glad voices telling the praise of the loveliest flower of the vale. O Mary, we crown thee with blossoms today, Queen of blossoms today, Queen of the angels and Queen of the May. Sing gaily in chorus, the bright angels o'er us re-echo the strains we began upon earth. Their harps are repeating the notes of our greeting, for Mary herself is the cause of our mirth. O Mary, we crown thee with blossoms today, Queen of the angels and Queen of the May. O Mary, we crown thee with blossoms today, Queen of the angels and Queen of the May. Queen of the angels and Queen of the May.
All right, a big hello to our friend Stacy Skinnador, that has been checking in with us every Sunday. Stacy, we just love hearing from you. And to be in the spirit of our flowers today, she has posted a tulip. How special. We really, really enjoy that and are thankful that you are doing that for us. And Bruce and I were talking earlier, I was saying, okay, Easter Market does, well, it's not Plant Day, what is it? What is it, Bruce?
Flower Day.
Oh, what are we talking about today?
Flowers.
Yeah, so Flower Day. I don't know, just total blank. It was kind of funny when he goes, are you talking about Flower Day?
Okay, if she's having a moment, then she'll get it the next time and I'll forget it. So
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, as you said earlier, it is fun. I want to go back in and make and extend our condolences. As I had mentioned, our good friend Pam Murphy has left us all shocked with her passing so suddenly. She was out the night before with Kate Bryan's little after the wedding party.
She was a regular here, yeah, definitely.
Every Sunday.
Yeah.
Every Sunday, Pam and Eric stopped by before they went off somewhere else. But she will definitely be missed. But let's go. Yesterday, there were 3 funerals or memorials. One was for Leanne Mack, resident of Livonia. She actually passed away on May 5th at the age of 94. Leanne's husband had predeceased her, and that was Anthony. She was the mother of 10 and sadly had lost 3 children in prior years as well. And that included her son Anthony Jr., daughter Catherine McKeever, and son Christopher. She was also predeceased by 2 grandchildren, Megan Rose and Patrick McKeever. And sadly, she lost her mom when she was only 6 years old. But despite all of those losses, Leanne remained a woman of strong faith and an example to all. She is survived by her children, Gregory, Celia, Mary, Matthew, Stephen, Leanne, and Andrew. She was the cherished grandmother of 20 and great-grandmother of 11. The dear sister of Jack Burke, Patricia Boston, Mickey Dean, and the late Joyce Burke, and the sister-in-law of Barbara Burke. Leanne was also mother-in-law of Megan O'Brien. She made life fun, lots of singing and dancing in that house, as many of us could attest to. She also enjoyed reading, solving crossword puzzles, playing Scrabble, bowling, and every family gathering. There was a memorial on Friday at L.J. Griffin Funeral Home. You can go to their website and read the entire obituary. And yesterday was a memorial mass at St. Genevieve, St. Maurice Parish in Livonia. Donations can be made to the American Cancer Society. Another one that has died that was being remembered in the Irish community is Robert Hubach, or Bob, was from Clarkston, 83 years young, preceded in his death by his wife Irene and a daughter Heidi, father of also Erica and Sarah that survived. Grandpa to two, there was Adam and Heidi, and brother of Linda, Alexander. Bob was served in the U.S. Army. He retired from Chrysler, had a big part in designing the Viper and some other vehicles. Multi-talented artist, creating beautiful watercolors and playing several musical instruments, including the hammer dulcimer and banjo. He was well known at many of the sessions that Mick Gavin was a part of, and touched many, many people's lives in a variety of hobbies. His viewing was at Louis E. Witt and Son Funeral Home in Clarkston, and the funeral mass was yesterday at St. Daniel Catholic Church in Clarkston. You can remember Bob on that website, the guest book page. Once again, I mentioned about Pamela Murphy. Pam grew up in Cass Corridor mainly, and she went to Burton International School and Holy Redeemer High School. She was an artist and loved animal. Oh, can you talk for a minute and get back?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. We're going to.
Busy right
I know this is crazy fun busy. Kathleen Partika came over, and I just started our talking about those that had died. But we're going to stop for a minute, and she's in charge of the kitchen, and we want to be able to eat later, so I don't want any burnt food. What's going on, Kathleen?
Oh my gosh, we're so excited.
Oh.
We have.
Can you hear?
Am I on?
Yep.
Oh, great. Welcome to all you listeners, and my condolences to those that have lost their family and loved ones. Today we're celebrating the Gaelic League. We're trying to fundraise for our Emerald campaign. It's always a good time down here. We have beautiful, beautiful gifts, for the silent auction. They're beautiful. There's Balik, there's wine baskets, tickets to see a play. Come on down. It's a crummy day. Come on down. It's really a lot of fun here. For the kitchen that I'm supposed to be talking about, we have pork loin that was smoked by Graham Shekels. It's like one of our favorite things to have on brunch, and he willingly made it for us today. And we're going to serve that with mac and cheese and baked beans. And then we also have ranch chicken sliders with cheese and coleslaw and tater tots. Who doesn't like tater tots? You guys got to come down, and it's cheap. $8 for the sliders and $10 for the pork loin. Come on down to support the club. We also have a wonderful play at 4:00. But if you just feel like having a beer and eating some meals, so you don't feel like cooking, come on down. We got it taken care of. So thank you so much for letting me talk, Kathleen.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate all that you do around here. Kathleen particularly is a very busy woman, and we don't want to slow her down, but every now and then she needs to sit down for a minute. But let's go back to Pam. For those of you that knew of her or know who she was, someone just said, oh, no, that's not Pam that had a cane. Yeah, Pam had vision problems of late, and she was struggling with eyesight, but she wasn't struggling with her friendliness and kindness to other people. She did have a love for animals, and in fact, was trying to train a seeing eye dog. I don't know how well that went, but all of us got to enjoy when she first got it and was working with that. And I can't remember his name, but like I say, Pam was remarkable. She volunteered at the American Indian Health and Family Services and could often be seen helping around here. And as her vision deteriorated, she still was around here and supportive and sharing stories. She is preceded by death by her biological mother and Virginia Duran, and her sister Vicky and her brother Darcy. But Pam had the good fortune of having two children, who were wonderful young people, James and Jessica Murphy, and adoptive parents, Patrick and Fran Dorn, that helped to nurture her into being a wonderful adult. Also, she had siblings, Rachel, Rebecca, and Joshua, and with a special aunt to 9 nieces and nephews. Once again, the viewing was at A.H. Peters Funeral Home yesterday in Grosse Pointe, and you can go to their website to read her obituary. But today there's a special celebration of Pam's life at the Old Miami at 3930 Cass Avenue in Detroit. It did start at 1 o'clock with a service of remembrance. It's probably going to be starting soon at 2 o'clock. In lieu of flowers, they were requesting monetary donations be applied to her funeral costs, and with portions being donated to her special causes of preventing cruelty to animals and supporting the victims and survivors of Native American boarding schools. Pam's daughter, Jessica Murphy, is handling those funds. And the last person that I want to make mentioning, also extend condolences to, is James Arthur Dean of Allen Park. He died on May 20th, this past week, at the age of 81. Actually, Friday was when he died. James was born in 1941 in Belfast, Ireland, to Joseph and Christina Dean, beloved husband of the late Diane, or Dee Dee Dean, loving father of the late James, or Jimmy Dean, and also the father of Teresa, dear brother of the late Joseph Dean, brother of Joy Kelly, Bernadette Dean, and Michael, brother-in-law of Carol, cherished uncle of many. His visitation is this coming Tuesday, May 24th, from 4 to 8 p.m. with a scripture service at 7 o'clock at Neely Tarowski Funeral Home, and that's located at 30200 5 Mile Road in Livonia. In state on Wednesday, May 25th, at 10:30 until time of Mass at 11 o'clock at St. Edith's Church, that also is in Livonia on Newburgh Road. And then the burial will be at Great Lakes National Cemetery in Holly. Memorial contributions to the disabled American veterans would be appreciated. So once again, we're remembering 4 different loved ones this week and want to remember all of them with sympathy to their families. Where Graham Shuckles just walked by. He's the one that did the smoked pork loin that Bruce and I hope to have later. But, keep the Mack family, Leanne Mack's family, Robert Hubbach's family, Pamela Murphy's family, and James Dean family in your prayers. With that, we are going to, I believe last Sunday, I had Sheila Maloney hosting the show, and what a wonderful job she did. Bruce, you and Sheila seemed to be having fun last Sunday, too, with Aoife helping out as well.
We needed Aoife because many of the songs I didn't have access to, so she played a lot of the music that wasn't on CD that I couldn't digitize. Thank you, Aoife.
Yeah, I was going to say it's nice to see young people getting involved and being a part of a program. I would like to see more of that. But anyways,
We should make it clear that she did not want to be involved. And who can blame her?
But we should also make it very clear that once she got involved, she did enjoy it, and she was
She seemed to have fun, yeah.
Yeah, she seemed to have fun, and she definitely made it a successful, wonderful program.
Thank you again.
And as we're talking about that, last week I was actually just in the hall, and every now and then I came through and gave them some more information or wave or something. But there was a second annual United Irish Society's Jim Dewan Memorial Scholarship held last week in the presentation and wonderful luncheon. And just for those that may have missed, the winner, first place is Maeve Spicer, wonderful young lady. And I guess, is it all right? I guess it's all right. I'm going to do it anyways. Who we know that knows who she is. Maeve Spicer is the granddaughter of Maureen Moriarty. All the Moriartys. Maureen's granddaughter, relative of all the Moriartys. But Maureen is also our Woman of the Year for the Palatine's Dinner Dance in November. The second runner-up was Bridget Dalloway, and Bridget is the grandniece of our Grand Marshal this year, Peggy Gray. It's Peggy's sister's granddaughter, Jenny. And Bridget actually has been on this radio program in the past because her and her siblings are all wonderful musicians, thanks to Mick Gavin and Michael Gavin and whoever else is teaching them. They came and played the fiddle, they dance, they sing, and Bridget is a lovely young lady, as all these people were. And the last one is, third place is Joshua Hohenscheid, and he, or Hohenscheid, I believe it is a nephew of Marilyn Couture's. So it was nice to see that we are looking for young people to get involved. It's nice to see members of the Irish community being a part of it and also winning. So with that, we are going to hear from Michael Goddard, and Michael was is the father of the first recipient of this scholarship, and that was Rose Carmel Goddard last year. He gave the invocation, so I was able to catch him after the show and did a little bit of an interview. We'll hear from Michael and then go into a couple of songs. We have Margot with A Sprig of Irish Heather, and followed up with Kathy Ryan's Wildflowers. Okay, I'm here now with Michael Goddard. Michael Goddard is a wonderful man in his own right, but he is also the father of the first recipient of the United Irish Society's Jim Dewan Memorial Scholarship, and that is Rose Carmel Goddard. How are you doing today, Michael, and can you tell us a little bit about the event we just were a part of?
Well, hello, Kathleen. It's been a wonderful day today, and for me it was an honor to give the invocation and blessing, especially given the fact that to me, Jim was a true hero in the Irish community, and I miss him dearly. But this scholarship program bears his name, and his legacy continues, especially his keen interest in our young people. In fact, as you've indicated, Rose Carmel was the first recipient, the inaugural recipient, and she is just completing her year of volunteer service with the Jesuit Volunteer Corps. That will finish up early July, and she has decided what medical school she's attending. So on July 24th, she will receive her student jacket at the University of Michigan.
Oh, how wonderful.
So July 24th is her first day of medical school. And I have to tell you that it has been the support of the Irish community that has been so instrumental and helpful in bringing her to this point. So it's been a great
I'm so
day.
pleased. Yeah, and great news too. To think that of all the schools that she could have selected, she's going to be close to home, and we will get to see more of her and look forward to that.
Absolutely. You can count on me dragging her to some of the Irish functions.
I don't think you have to drag her. She was so committed last year in talking to us. I'm sure that she's going to be the one that said, "Come on, Dad, get in the car. It's a good day."
And as you recall, Kathleen, in 2017, she was the Queen of the Court of St. Bridget.
Right.
So, she's had this ongoing history of being active in the Irish community.
Yeah, very nice. Well, thank you so much, Michael, and you take care and the rest of your family as well, your wife and daughters.
Thanks,
All right.
Kat.
Yeah,
Thanks.
God bless.
An Irish mother writing to her son so far away said I meant to send a shamrock to wear on Patrick's Day, but the shamrock, it's a tender plant, its beauty soon will fade, so a sprig of Irish heather I'm sending you instead, just a sprig of Irish heather that has seen all kinds of weather, which stood the heat of summer and survived the winter snow. I'm sending to remind you of the friends you left behind you, and to roam among the bushes in the days of long ago. Remember Carragona and the mass rock standing there, where we oft times held together, and you'd list a childish prayer. Many times since then I've wondered when the evening shadows steal, so I plucked this heather from the spot where once you used to kneel. But the years from me are flitting, and I know I'm growing old, by the fireside lonely sitting, when the nights are dark and cold. But I know your smile will cheer me and make sunshine out of blue. So come back to me, Ursula, when the heather is in bloom. Just a sprig of Irish heather that has seen all kinds of weather, which stood the heat of summer and survived the winter snow. I'm sending to remind you of the friends you left behind you, and to roam among the bushes in the days of long ago.
Was the wild flowers I preferred, who owed nothing to nobody, but blossomed in the ditches and made their own way in the world. 'Twas the wild flowers I admired, who never done nothing to you, They flowered by the roadside and wore their own colors in the sun. They were there before you, they'll be there after you. That will out, like your own true nature. You can try, but you never will defeat the wildflowers I enjoyed. They had nothing to do with you, vanished from the garden. They made their own way in the world, sang their own songs in the spring, and wore their own colors in the sun.
All right, there. Before we get into after hours here, let's say La Braha Hana to those celebrating birthdays this week, including today we have Peggy Conroy and Cheryl Farron celebrating their birthday. Tomorrow is Marge Becker's birthday. Tuesday is Kieran Egan and Mary Ann Quinn. On Wednesday, we have Rita Bagden and Mary Marks and Ron McNaught celebrating birthdays. Thursday is Maud Yance. Friday, Mary Jo Began, Quinn Cassidy, Sean Klein, Finnegan Mason, and Eddie McGlinchey. Boy, May 27th was a great day for a lot of those birthdays, huh? Saturday is Aaron Carlisle, the twins, Ronan and Vincent Egan, and joining their brother, Kieran. Three Egan birthdays in 1 week. How about that? Lots of celebration. Also on Saturday is Agnes Gowdy and Jim Murphy. So a very, very happy birthday to all of you. Wishing you all the best. Great year ahead of you in your new year of birthdays. And let's see, we will have a couple of songs in a minute, but I also wanted to say gorgeous to those celebrating anniversary. On Wednesday, my niece Colleen and her husband Eric Spencer celebrate 4 years of marriage. On Thursday is Nathan and Peggy Brennan's 32nd anniversary. And Saturday is, my other niece, Mark and Amy Nick celebrating 11 years. Normally they're not in the same week that I announce both those, but wishing them a very happy anniversary as well. We do have a Gaelic League meeting tomorrow for those that members, the board members and officers, 6 o'clock, and the general membership meeting starts at 7. And out at the AOH Hall, located at, what is their address, 25300, I believe, 5 Mile Road in Redford, they have a blood drive, which is a really nice thing that they do every fourth Monday of the month from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you're able to, they would appreciate that support. I know the Gaelic League is closed next week, and I will have to verify exactly, but we know next Sunday and Monday because it's Memorial Weekend. We'll find out if they're open on Friday or Saturday.
She mentioned that last week, didn't she? Say she was they were closed all weekend.
All weekend, okay.
We'll have to verify that.
We will verify that before this show ends today. Well, while we have the time, because I know we had a few different people that were going to come back and talk to us. Now we do have someone. I was going to say, I know they wouldn't forget, but they might just get so busy that we don't get the chance. But we have our good friend, and that is the Grand Marshal of the longest serving Grand Marshal of 2020, 2021, and 2022. She finally learned the steps to march us up the avenue. No, boy, it's Peggy Gray. Peggy, it's nice to see you here today, and what a nice honor to have you as our Grand Marshal that finally was able to kick off after a couple years of pandemic keeping us all home. So, but you have other news to share beyond.
I do.
That's history, right?
I do.
I think that is on. Yeah,
okay, good.
it sounds soft, but it is on. Okay.
You
Yes.
need to put your headphones on.
Yes, I wanted to talk about the Motor City Irish Fest, which is coming up very soon, June 10th, 11th, and 12th at Greenmead Historical Park in Livonia. It's going to be such a great weekend. There's going to be over 20 Irish bands. I don't know how many schools of Irish dance, whiskey tasting, beer tents, food vendors, Irish vendors, cultural tent, children's area. And speaking of the children's area, I know what the schedule is there.
Oh, good.
Yes. So I'm going to tell you, I don't have it right in front of me, so I can't tell you hour for hour, but there will be, Friday night there will be Irish dance lessons and craft lessons. And all 3 days we will have the most amazing face painters and balloon makers. And there'll be, Saturday and Sunday, there'll also be Irish dance lessons. There'll be a magician there. He's amazing, the kilted magician. We're going to have, Saturday, we're going to have the reddest hair, greenest eyes, and most freckles contest with Liam, the extra large leprechaun.
Oh, that's always fun.
Oh, that is a fun time. And then, there'll be many other cultural things. We're going to have crafts. Like every half hour, between every act, we have the new brigade. They're going to do a sing-along. And Ed Riley is going to do a sing-along story time. And we're going to, at the very end on Sunday, we're going to have the most popular hula hoop contest. And we have them there for kids to practice all weekend. So that's off the top of my head. I know there's more. But I have to make a mention that once you're in, everything at the children's tent, there's no charge for. That all comes with being there. So
excellent. And is it limited to like under 10, or do you?
Well, we say 12 and under, but we do have, if you're 13 and
Right.
you want to do a craft or what, and actually any age group, because children must be accompanied by an adult.
Right.
So you might be 18. But everything there is fun for everyone. So.
Now, is the tent opening at the same time as everything else?
Yes.
And they close earlier.
Close
right?
a little earlier. We usually
Right.
close around 7, but we keep the crafts out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one table that's there for, I forgot to mention Irish football class, too. We have that.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have one table that's just got crayons and markers and coloring paper. So anytime, any adult even can come by and sit down and color. That's always
Get
relaxing.
away from everybody else and
right.
relax for a
Yes.
minute. Yeah. Oh, well, how nice. And for those that are not familiar or want to find out more, they can go to the website. You have all that posted as far as schedule.
Yes, everything's there.
And the website is motorcityirishfest.com?
Yes.
Excellent. And I did learn the other day that they were still looking for a number of volunteers. So there's on that link you can click on and go to the volunteer section, which
Yes.
I have since done. And
Yeah. And if you do volunteer, you get a volunteer shirt, and you get in for free. You still have to pay for parking, but your admission's free. And then usually we have a nice dinner, a thank you dinner, maybe a month later for all the volunteers.
Those are all incentives too.
Yeah, and a dinner with entertainment. So yeah. So
Very, very nice. Well, we appreciate you sharing all that news. It's nice to get it firsthand from someone that's actively involved, part of the committee, and in charge of the children's tent. You do a wonderful job. Last year, I took a couple of my nieces over, and they didn't want to leave. One more craft or.
I know it is fun.
But that's all good. Yeah. So. Thank you, Peggy.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate it. And she's here today, and I think, are you selling raffle tickets today, or what were you? Oh, just tell us what you're doing.
Okay, yeah, we're here selling 50-50 tickets to benefit the Gaelic League, and so there's still time for people to come down.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, Bruce and I will be there after the show. So thank you. Much appreciated. Always nice to hear from people that are in the house. We're making it very convenient for them, aren't we, being here today, Bruce?
They have no excuse. We grab them as they walk by.
Right. So we're going to say Aberpager Sanadini Atat, and to those that are in need of prayers at this time, and for your own family members and friends whose names I don't have, and especially for those of you that are listening via the K Radio or CRBradio.com and are new to this show, we do remember those that ask for prayers, and you're welcome to send them to us as well by texting 313-942-0159 or email DetroitIrishRadio@gmail.com.
And we'd like to hear when you get better, too.
Well, that's true, too, and that goes for the ones that are on our list. We've had some that have been on our list for a while, and I haven't checked up on them lately, sadly, and if you're better and can be removed, we're happy that the prayers worked and you're doing good, and we'd like to see more of you. And if they still need in prayers, we certainly can do that. So let's say prayers for Bob Anderson, Sylvia Renee Aurora, Laura Bond, Judy and Tom Bruning, Bill Carney, John Couture, Kitty Durbin, Brian Dunleavy, Bruce Farrell, John Finnerty, Bridie Flynn, Ed Foley, Chris Furton, Mary Gold, Dave and Aaron Keem, Howard Kelly, Nancy Kelly, Ann Kerwin, Gary Lane, Kathleen LaFleur, Kevin Lussick, Rick McMurray, Damian McNulty, Richard McNichols, our good little friend Bridget Murray could use some extra prayers this week, Tom O'Halloran, Gertie O'Kennedy, Father Dan O'Sullivan, Joe Parsky, Marianne Quinn, Teresa Roddy, Marilyn Saloka, Chris Scanlon, Mary Sheehy, Megan Tierney, Sarah Turner, Lexton Williams, and Joan Wisely. Up next, we're going to hear, we just heard his name mentioned, Endon Riley. Endon Riley is going to be out at the Motor City Irish Fest, and he sounds like he's doing a little sing-along session for the children, which I think the grown-ups will enjoy just as much.
Oh, yeah, they will.
Yeah, we enjoy Endon Riley. He made was very helpful here for our for our 25th anniversary celebration recently, and he has a new album coming out called Whispering this week, May 27th. And you know what? I don't have if it's happening at AOH or where it's happening. Do you know where it's happening?
It is probably at the AOH. We'll have to look that up.
We will find that out before the end of the show. But we're going to play a song from that album, and that is Red is the Rose, being sung by Endon Riley, and then followed it with Nathan Gordley and Laura Fenderson with The Fairest Rose.
Come over the hills, my bonny Irish lads. Come over the hills to your darling. You choose the rose, love, and I'll make a vow, and I'll be your true love forever. Red is the rose that in yonder garden grows, and fair is the lily of the valley. Clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is fairer than that. 'Twas down by Killarney's green woods that we strayed, when the moon and the stars, they were shining. The moon shone its rays on her locks of golden hair. She swore she'd be my love forever. And red is the rose that in yonder garden grows. Fair is the lily of the valley, clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is fairer than any. It's not for the parting, my own sister Kate, not for the grief of my mother, 'tis all for the loss of my bonny Irish lass, that my heart is breaking forever. And red is the rose that in yonder garden grows, fair is the lily of the valley, clear is the water that flows from the Boyne, but my love is fairer than any. My love is fairer than any.
right. We're very fortunate to have many sponsors of this program and many wonderful people in the Irish community that I would like to take a moment to announce them. I told Bruce that he was making me so organized, and now I'm feeling like Sheila. I have papers and papers that Kathleen nicely put in a pile.
You know, it's getting better each week, so stick by it. You're doing good.
Yeah, okay. Well, wherever that little pile of papers went, let me take the moment to instead make mention of our, oh, how about that? Oh, never mind. It's right in front of me.
The first page.
I put it on a different paper. So I wasn't looking for this. How fun. I want to thank our sponsors. I know we make Bruce crazy here, but it's okay. At least we get him smiling, right?
That's the smile because I'm nervous.
Last week at this scholarship luncheon, I got a nice donation from Marianne Quinn, so I want to mention her first. Thank you for your donation to Detroit Irish Radio. And including on that list is a number of people that I saw at our anniversary party that were also very generous, including Richard and Maggie Limke, Dennis and Mary Ellen Clark, Jerry and Mary Bailey DePorter, Bill and Kate Miller, the Victory and Maloney families, Nick and Peggy Shimatero. We also want to thank Kathleen Gallagher, Brian and Pam Donlevy, who, by the way, are the co-chairs of the Motor City Irish Fest and need to be congratulated for all that they do for the whole Irish community. Thank Michael Goddard, Teresa Roddy, Bruce Smith here, Evelyn Carney, Bill and Marianne Knight, Heather Lemus, Brian Maher, Richard McGee, Jim and Bev Murphy, Mary Ryan, Paul and Agnes Gowdy, Peggy Walsh, Kitty Heinzman, Donald and Marcia Detter, Peter and Maura Dewanen family, Peggy Gray, Michael and Eileen Berry family, Barbara Sullivan, Aaron and Dave Keem, John Bentley, Kathy Baker, John and Mary Bongiorno, Dan and Kathleen Partika, Michael Klein, Aileen Daniels, Gertie and Moore O'Kennedy, Nora Martin, Dora McCarville, Bridget McCarville, Bob and Peggy Berger, Patrick Kelleher, Karen Kelly, Patrick and Ann O'Hara, Sylvia Donahue, Nancy Kelly, Bob and Mary Beth Munt, Joan and Kathleen Trainer. Thank you so very much for your donation. And just a little reminder for all of you that are out there listening, we are having a special event here today, and you're more than welcome to come down. It's starting to, a few people coming in. The food smells delicious, doesn't it, Bruce? And we're looking forward to it. Can you smell it?
I can't smell anything right now.
That's not a good sign. It smells delicious, and they took down the menu from in here, so we can't even read it anymore.
No.
But there's a couple of different dishes. One was
ranch chicken sliders.
Right,
and
that with tater tots and coleslaw for $8.
Right.
And then the other one that we're looking forward to is the pork loin with mac and cheese and something else for $10.
Baked beans.
Oh, baked beans. Yep. There we go. So come on down and have a meal with us.
See, it takes two of us to get through these.
Yeah, and they're serving it until 3:30, so you do have time to come in down before a play starts at 4 o'clock in the hall. They're all set up in there. The lighting's been situated, so it's going to be cool. We haven't had a play in the Gaelic League Hall in years, so I'm looking forward to sitting back and enjoying it. But for now, how about we go on to, this is something that I found. This is extra special. You want to talk about this, Bruce?
No, you talk about it. You're the one who found it.
This, and you know what, I didn't bring my notes. I wrote my notes on a separate paper, and of course I looked for it just now, and it was like, no, not there. But I went on looking, of course, for songs about flowers, and Irish people singing songs about flowers, or Irish singers, or ones that were relevant to just Ireland. And I found this one, and it said something about a connection between Ireland and Ukraine and peace. And this is an interview that Tommy Sands did with Pete Seeger, I believe in no, he died in 2014, I believe. I don't know when it was done, but Pete Seeger's talking about the song that he wrote, Where Have All the Flowers Gone? And you'll hear in his story about that. And he makes mention, or maybe Tommy Sands makes mention, that he was delighted to hear that Pete Seeger said he liked this rendition of Tommy Sands, Dolores Keane, and a number of other artists. Donald Looney's on the alien pipes. There was Rod McVie and Artie McGlynn, but there's various people, musicians as well in this selection. And Pete Seeger says out of all of that he's heard record this song, he liked this. But let's listen to the interview. It's very interesting.
The Where Have All the Flowers song, Where Have All the Flowers Gone song, it's got an interesting origin too, Pete. You mentioned one time to me about it had the air was inspired by, was it an Irish melody?
Well, nobody knows for sure exactly how the human brain works when things are invented. Mysteriously, things come from opposite directions and get put together in your brain. And the little short song, 3 verses, I can tell you, it came from 3 lines of a Russian song. Where are the flowers, the girls have plucked them? Where are the girls, they're all married? Where are the men, they're all in the army? And it came up in a Russian novel as the Cossacks are galloping off 100 years ago or more. They're singing this song. And I write down those 3 lines. I said, that sounds like an interesting song. I should look it up. I never got around to looking it up. But in an airplane flying over Ohio, I pull out my little pocket notebook. I still carry one. And leaf through it, see those 3 lines, and all of a sudden I think, long time passing. I'd written that down as 3 words that would sing well, long time. And I, long time passing. A year later, somebody said to me, Pete, you thought you wrote those music lines down, but you remember you were singing an Irish-American lumberjack song? Johnson said he'll load more hay. Says he'll load more 10 times a day. All I did was slow it down.
Amazing. And
the rest of the song wasn't quite the same. So there, a little of Russia, a little of Ireland, and a couple of words added by me, long time passing and long time ago, and the intellectual's perennial complaint, the hand-wringer's complaint, when will they ever learn? Well, it was a young fellow who listened to the little record I made. I call it a short. I kind of threw the song away. It was so short I didn't pause for applause. I sang it with several very short songs. But this college student tried singing at a summer camp a year or 2 later. And that's the way the kids took it back home with them. I think the home for them, some of them was Greenwich Village, and that's where Peter, Paul, and Mary got started in 1958, 3 years after I wrote the song. And next thing, the Kingston Trio learned it from Peter, Paul, and Mary. My manager one day says, Pete, didn't you write a song called Where Have All the Flowers Gone? I said, yeah, 3 or 4 years ago. Did you ever copyright it? No, I don't think so. Well, you ought to. The Kingston Trio just recorded it. Well, I got on the phone to Dave Guard. He's an old friend of mine. Well, poor guy's gone now. But he said, oh, Pete, we didn't know it was your song. We'll take our name off it. It was very nice of them, because legally I had, as they say, abandoned copyright. Tommy Sands, you and your friend who sang the alternate verses, and a heroic cello player, and that counter melody, Where Have All the Flowers Gone, has descending phrases. You had an ascending phrase. Your recording of the song Where Have All the Flowers Gone is absolutely the best that I've ever heard in my entire life.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? The young girls pick them, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn?
Where have all the young girls gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young girls gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young girls gone? Unto husbands, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn?
And where have all the young men gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young men gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young men gone? Gone to soldier, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn?
Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the soldiers gone? Unto graveyards, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn?
And where have all the graveyards gone? Long time passing. Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time ago.
All right, I thought that was pretty cool. But I'm going to make mention of a few things. I did find out Indian Riley has no physical release party date planned yet, but anyone who pre-orders will get their CD May 27th, and it will be available on Spotify, and we'll be working on where that release party is going to be, and certainly you will hear it here.
You can get his music at bandcamp.com as well.
Yeah, wonderful music. The other thing is the Gaelic League itself is going to be closed the weekend, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Keep that in mind. This is Memorial Weekend coming up next week. And I did receive a nice little note from Kitty Donahoe. She is also a wonderful musician, singer, songwriter, but she also does tours. And she leads these tours in Ireland this year. She is also heading out to Scotland. Now, the Ireland tours are full, but there are 2 seats available for Scotland. And she mentions the Scotland trips are like the Ireland ones, 10 days and nights, a small bunch, smaller than Ireland. And this year, we're starting in Edinburgh, then on to the Isle of Skye region, then the Highlands, and back to Edinburgh. She says the dates of the trip are July 1st, gather in Edinburgh, through July 11th. These 2 seats available, it's double room that are available for fill. The fee is $2,600 per person for the shared rooms, but it does not include airfare. But almost everything else, all the accommodations, breakfast, 3 group dinners, entry fees to museums, etc., and of course, live music every night. So if you're interested, you can email Kitty at K-I-T, and the last spelling of her last name is Donahoe, is Donohoe at AOL.com, or give her a call at 734-358-1783. With that, we also wanted to take a mention of our organizations that are also very generous with this sponsorship of this program, including the Fraternal Order of United Irishmen, I should say organizations and businesses, Stephen Maloney and Maloney Tile and Marble, Friendly Sons of St. Patrick, Motor City Irish Fest, Porrick Egan and Emerald Plumbing, the Knights of Equity Court 6 and Daughters of Erin, Gaelic League Irish American Club, the Ancient Order of Hibernian Stephen Walsh, and Blessed Solanus Casey Division, the Ardon Academy of Irish Dance, and Kitty's Ceilidh, the Ladies Ancient Order of Hibernians Elizabeth Fagan, Catherine McCauley, Ethel Kennedy, and Rose Kennedy Divisions, Kevin and Shelley Murphy at Murphy's Restaurant in Retford, Brian Dunleavy and Dunleavy's Irish Pub in Allen Park, Father Brendan McCarrick and the Irish Palatine Fathers, John G. Irwin and EXP Realty, and Mike Kelly and Environmental Maintenance Engineers Incorporated. Also, since I have time, or do I have time? Yes, I have a moment. I want to thank the memorial sponsors, including Patricia Dillon Quinn with remembering Jimmy the Irish Plumber, James May, Fraternal Order of United Irishmen, remembering the deceased FUI members, Teresa Roddy remembering her husband Peter, Evelyn Carney remembering her husband Bill, as well as Icy Frady Alley, Gail McKnight remembering her husband Richard, Peggy Walsh remembering John Early, Gertie and Mario Kennedy, and Jack and Irene Cahill, Dawn Mantella, Peter and Renee Yake, and Patrick and Ann O'Hara remembering Madge Stockdale. Jim Butler is being remembered by Barbara and Ann O'Hare, Barbara Sullivan, Michael Givens, Barbara Husser, Smead, Son Steele, Sheila Richardson, Maureen Gary, and Paul Jensen. Barb Sullivan remembering her husband Westside Red as well. And Mike Gibbons remembering his wife Joanne. We also have Kathleen Griffin remembering her husband Bob. Mary Ryan remembering the Rice and Ryan families. Peter and John Irwin remembering their parents, Dan and Mary, as well as the Hughes and Irwin families. Kelly Ann Page remembering her husband Colin, as well as her parents, Jerry and Phyllis Murphy, and Bob and Marie Page. Patrick Kern family remembering their parents, Patrick and Mary Kern. Michael Aiden Godwin remembering Jim Dewan. Gertie and Maura O'Kennedy remembering the O'Kennedy, Mungie, and Kennedy families. Cindy Lloyd remembering Betty Ryan. Ann Purcell and her daughters Aileen and Patricia remembering her husband Al Purcell. Tom and Joan O'Hale remembering Father Michael Cooney. Melva Prentice remembering her husband Scotty. Kitty Heinzman remembering her husband John. John and Mary Bongiorno remembering the Bongiorno and Dean families. Dan and Kathleen Pertica remembering her parents. Thomas and Patricia Quinn, as well as her brother Michael and his wife Rose. To the Moriarty family remembering their parents, John and Kathleen, as well as the rest of the deceased Moriarty family. And the Dewan family remembering their parents, Frank and Kathleen, as well as siblings Jim, Mary, and Frank, and niece Becca. We have time for at least a couple here. We have Maura O'Connell with Down by the Sally Gardens, and followed up with Doric Warfield and the Young Wolf Tones with Blackberry Blossoms.
Down by the Sally Gardens, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Gardens with little snow white feet. She bid me take life easy as the leaves grow on the trees. But I, being young and foolish, with her I did not agree. In a field by the river, my love and I did stand, and on my leaning shoulder she placed her snow white hand. She bid me take love easy as the grass grows on the weir. But I was young and foolish, and now I am full of tears. Down by the Sally Gardens, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Gardens with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the grass grows on the weir. But I was young and foolish, and now I am full of tears.
We are going to go out with some more wonderful music. This is going to be with Matt Malloy and John Carty and Artie McLean, The Hare and the Heather. But before we do, just a little reminder, you still have time to get down here to the Gaelic League for a wonderful play that's starting at 4 o'clock. 4 to 6 o'clock is the play. There's food available, and it looks like they just added to the menu. Desserts available. That's saw me coming.
She's moving her mouth away from the mic. I had to push it back towards her.
Yeah, desserts, yum. And there is the silent auction that's going to be taking place, as well as raffle 50-50. So if you can, this is all going to help support the Gaelic League. And just a little reminder that there's the funeral for James Arthur Dean, who's from Allen Park, this coming week. And the visitation is Tuesday from 4 to 8 at the Neely Turowski Funeral Home in Livonia, and a funeral mass on Wednesday at 11 o'clock at St. Edith, also in Livonia. And also remembering our good friend Pam Murphy and her friend Eric Cole, who is also our good friend as well. It's a sad loss for all of us in the league, and there is a special celebration today. But I'm going to thank you now, and we'll go out with some great music for tuning in to Detroit Irish Radio on CRBradio.com. This has been your host, Kathleen O'Neill, along with our good friend Bruce Smith, and thanks to Pork Egan for his call-in, and for Brita Miller and Kathleen Pertica and Peggy Gray stopping by and talking to us. Keep all that are in poor health in your prayers, and until next week, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. 𝐿𝙚𝙗𝙗𝙧𝙬 𝐂𝐸𝐴 𝐸𝐿𝐚